In the previous video, you created your first blog post using Total CMS. In this video, we're going to look at how we can display those posts on the home page. So to do that, let's open up RapidWeaver, and I've got our project open here. And what we're going to do is go to the home page, and what we want to add is the Total CMS content stack for our blog list. So go to your Total CMS stacks, and I'm just going to hide these site styles here. Scroll down, and what we're now going to use, as I said, is the content CMS stacks. Previously we've been using the admin CMS stacks, but now when you want to display that content to your visitors, you want to use the content stacks. And the one we want to use specifically is the blog list, because we want to add a list of posts to the home page. So drag in the blog list, and now you'll see that we need to add the CMS core stack to this page in order for it to function properly. So in the same way that we had to add the admin core to all of the admin pages, we need to add this CMS core stack to all of the front end pages. So drag and drop the CMS core stack in above there, and you'll see that we also need to add our license. So go ahead and paste your license into the CMS core settings here. Okay, once you've done that, we're going to hide the CMS core stack, and now we're going to work on the blog list. So if you remember in the admin section when we created the article editing page, we had a similar plus button here inside of the blog form stack. And what this does is allow you to choose which pieces of information you want to display from each blog post. So when you click the plus button, you can add any of these pieces of content. Now obviously the most common and the one that you'll likely want to choose first of all is the title. So we're adding the blog title inside of the list here. Then what we also want to display is the summary. So we'll choose the summary here. So what this is doing is on the blog list, this is going to list all of your posts, and then inside of there for each post we're going to display the title and the summary. Now one thing I've noted already in the previous videos is that we need to ensure the Total CMS ID is set correctly. Again, by default the CMS ID is Total CMS, but the ID that we're using is articles. So enter articles into the CMS ID here. Now there are a lot of other settings for the blog list, and we're going to cover most of these in a follow-up video later on, but for now I just want to get us displaying our blog posts on the home page. So once you've entered the articles ID, what we can do is press Command P and preview our website in the browser. And here we can see that the test post that we created on the live website is being displayed locally when we preview it from RapidWeaver. Now this is one of the most powerful and coolest features of Total CMS. You do not need to log on to your live website in order to create and update or view any of your blog post content. You will need an internet connection, but you don't need to actually log on to your live website. So in our case, we don't need to log on to rapidweaverblog.com in order to view, update or create content for our website. We can do it all from within RapidWeaver's live external preview, or if you prefer, you can even do it from within RapidWeaver's built-in preview here. And here you can see we have the test post displayed. And that is also true if you go to the articles page. You'll see the test post is listed here in the articles list. You can also create a new article in exactly the same way we did on the live website inside of Safari. As I say, this is a really powerful feature of Total CMS. It means that you can work with your content directly from within RapidWeaver. Anyway, as I say, what we're going to focus on in this lesson is displaying our posts. So let's go back to the home page and into edit mode. And what we want to do is lay out this content nicely. So we're going to go to our foundation stacks, and we'll scroll up and add a one column foundation stack here, and then drop the blog list inside of that. Finally, what we're also going to do is add an image to the blog list and drag that to the top. And we're also going to add the date, like so. Let's go back to Safari and preview that. And there you can see you get one of the blog images. You get the date below there, title and summary. Now obviously we've only created one post so far, so we're obviously only going to get one post when we list them out. Before we start creating any more posts, I just want to update the styling of these lists because obviously you can see here the image is rather large. So let's go back to RapidWeaver, and on the blog list what I want to update is the post images. So on the image display I just want the first image to be displayed, and we'll set max images to 1. And on the image setting we want this to be the original image, and we will link to the post. And there we can see that the styling is a little bit nicer than we had before. Now the last thing I want to do is change the width of this blog list, because obviously that image looks a little bit large, and also the length of the line of text here is a bit too wide for my liking. So we'll go to RapidWeaver again, choose the one column foundation, and I'm going to set the max width to be a custom width of 780 pixels. Then we'll just preview that, and there we can see we're starting to look quite nice. So the next thing I'm going to do is go and create a few more test posts. So we'll do one more together, and then I'll create some test posts in the background. And to do that we will go to the live website on rapidweaverblog.com. On the articles page we'll create a new article, and if you remember from the previous videos, I've got an assets folder on my desktop here. This is included with the course download, and inside of here you'll see I've got some folders with different images inside. So breakfast, buffet, burgers, desserts, so on. Let's go ahead and create a breakfast post together, and then I'll do the rest of them in the background as I said. So let's start by giving this a title of Healthy Breakfasts. The permalink will be added for us, and then for the summary I'm going to go into the copy folder and copy this short paragraph here and paste that in. Then I'm going to go and get the long paragraph from the copy here. So we do paragraph, the paragraph long, and we're going to copy that, go back to the article page here and paste that in a couple of times. Then what we want to do is we can set a post date. So let's say we posted this a couple of weeks ago. We'll set the author to be Ben, and you'll see here once you've filled in some of these author categories and tags fields, you'll get a nice autofill pop-up, so you can choose the author there. And for the categories, if I start to put in dinner, you'll see we also get that nice autocomplete pop-up. However, this is breakfast. And the tags we'll give this is healthy, and maybe we'll say fruit, like so. Finally, we need to add the images for this post. So again, the assets folder, select the breakfast images and drag those in here. Now if you're wondering why these fields have a red border, this is because this information hasn't yet been saved to the server. So this is an indication that something has changed, but it hasn't yet been saved. Now with all the content inside of Total CMS, you can either add a save button as we have done here, or you can press Command S on your keyboard and that will save the content to the server. So what I'm going to do is press Command S now, and you'll see everything turns to a nice little green tick once it's been uploaded and saved on the server. So this shows you that you know all of this data has been saved and it's live on the site now. So if we go to the articles page, you'll see we now have two posts listed here. We've got that test post and we've got healthy breakfasts. If we go to the home page, there's nothing listed there because I haven't yet published that home page change. So let's actually go to the local site here, and on the home page now you'll see that we have two posts listed. So what I'm going to do is actually delete this test post. So we'll go to the live server and the articles, and when you hover over the left hand side here we can delete this, and I'll say OK, and now that's gone. So if we go locally and refresh, now we've just got that healthy breakfast post. So rather than making you watch me add all of these posts, I'm going to pause the video now, add the remaining 5 posts and come back in just a second. Okay, so as you can see here, I've created those 6 posts, and if we go to our homepage locally, you'll see all of those are displayed in the blog list. As I said earlier, what we haven't done is publish those homepage changes to the live site. So let's go to RapidWeaver and do that now. So we're homepage and we'll click publish. And here you'll see a new feature in RapidWeaver is that when you publish your website to your server, RapidWeaver will check if there are multiple index pages on the server. So this can be an issue when, as we have done, we've changed the extension from index.html to be index.php. And this is because when you first create your homepage, or when you first create a page, the default extension is .html. However, when we added the CMS stacks, because Total CMS requires PHP, it then got changed to index.php. So if we go to the live server, what we might find is that we don't see those changes. And that is because the index.html page is being displayed by default. If we were to go to index.php, we'll see that those changes at least have been updated or are live on the index.php page. So what we'll need to do is go into our FTP server, and what we want to do is delete this index.html file. So I'm going to do that here. That will mean that the index.php file is served to our visitors by default. So that's the easiest way to fix that issue. So now when we go back to the home page and refresh, you'll see that that has then been updated. One issue that I am seeing here is that the styling is not quite correct. Now this can happen in certain situations, and what I'm going to do is go back to RapidWeaver and republish all files. This will ensure that all of the changes to the site are synced to the server. So if you ever see this issue on your local site, make sure that you republish all the files to the server, and you should see all of the style changes applied to those pages. Okay, if we go back to Safari and refresh, there we can see that the style changes that we made to the home page have now been applied. So as I say, republish all files will usually fix that issue for you. And as you can see here also, we have all of our 6 posts listed on the home page. Now the one thing I want to fix before we finish up this video is if we go to the articles page here, you'll see all of these are listed nicely. However, the dates are 3 of them are on the same day. I forgot to set the dates correctly. So what we want to do is be able to edit these 3 posts. However, when I click on this post, it just refreshes the page. So what we need to do is hook this list up to the new article form, or the article edit form that we created previously. So to do that, we'll go to RapidWeaver, we'll go to the articles page, and then on the blog list and the settings for that stack, what we need to do is select or set the blog form page. So click set link here, and the page we want to select is the article form page that we created. So choose article and set the link, and then publish those changes to your server. Essentially what that's done is told Total CMS that when you click on one of these posts to edit them, it will use the article form page that we created. So now when we click on this post, for example, you'll see we get the article page and the post content is pre-filled. So we're using the same form for both creating and editing posts, and this will obviously save you a lot of work. Okay, so what I wanted to do was just change the date of this post. So let's say I posted it on Monday, and we'll press Command S to save that change, and you'll see a green tick is applied there. And what happens by default is that you are redirected back to the article listing page, and you'll see that the date has been updated. Okay, so let's just do that for the last 2. So let's say we posted this at the end of February. We'll save that, and we'll then be redirected back to the articles. You'll see that that one's gone to the bottom, and actually we can leave the quick and easy midweek dinners as posted today. Okay, and if we go back to our home page, we'll see everything is being listed nicely, and I think that will do it for this video. In the next video, we're going to look at how we can add that featured post banner. So if you remember from the first video, we had the full width banner where the image was blurred in the background and a nice overlay on top of that. We're going to have a look at how we can create that, and we're going to look at how to create the individual article page, because at the moment when we click on one of these posts, it just refreshes the home page. So we'll have a look at how we can create that individual post page as well.